I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I've really been struggling to keep my poison dart frogs alive. Let me tell you why. Before anything, I've got to clean up this mess that I've been collecting down here. I got new enclosures going in here, down on the bottom racks, and replacing this one here. So I gotta make some space. But as you guys know, I'm in a tight area here. So this is all I have to work with. I've also been doing some storage back here as well. But I have two enclosures that are gonna get their backgrounds completely torn out, these two here. I've got fruit flies, I've got a trash box, but this is all for me just working in here today. But as you guys know, I keep 4 different species of poison dart frog. I have the Tinctorius green Cipluini. I have one mint terribilis, which is the most poisonous frog in the world for anybody who doesn't know. I also have one Tinctorius yellowback, and then the pair of Leucomelis, which is the bumblebee dart frog. The reason I say I've been struggling to keep my frogs alive is because of this right here. If you guys know, this is the primary food source for poison dart frogs in captivity. I've had real struggle. As you guys can see, these are all from different places. Without food, without an adequate, consistent food source comes no food for frogs, because they don't really have many alternatives or many options. I can either feed pinhead crickets, which aren't the best for them, or the flightless fruit flies that I feed now. I've only found one distributor within the past 3 that I've tried that have sent me quality flies. Like, guys, I lie to you not, this is what I got in the mail, and I'm not gonna tell you who it's from, but if you know anything, a producing colony of flies is not supposed to look like this. Another large distributor sent me these. And right, this looks like a good culture, but guess what it has? Mites. So all of those fruit fly cultures that I ordered came with mites that could possibly infect my other cultures that I have here. I ordered from one place and they did very well. Packaged and shipped everything perfectly next day. And yes, I've got reimbursed for these cultures. But if you guys have known what I've been through in the last 30 days with these fruit fly cultures, just being so absolutely disgusting. No flies in them, or they're producing very minimally. This one had no food in it at the bottom. And these are from 2 companies, guys. I'm not gonna blast them here because that's not the purpose of the channel, but the purpose is to make sure if you're keeping frogs, you're aware that their food source is very reliant on you. So if you can't get flies from anywhere, if you aren't producing flies consistently, then don't have poison dart frogs. For those who don't know, this is what a good producing colony of fruit flies looks like. This is what a thriving colony looks like. You have active flies up there, you have fly larvae here, and as you guys can see, there's no mites in here either. Mites will completely decimate a fruit fly culture literally within minutes. So there's no turning back from mites, and you'll have to restart your whole colony if they're all infected with mites. I have major plans for this room, guys. I'm gonna tell you, and you heard it here first if you watched this video. 1, 2, 3, all these 3 enclosures that I've been doing spray foam backgrounds in, completely changing it. So I don't know if you guys have seen Biotope Gallery on YouTube, but his enclosures are top-notch, amazing, living ecosystems. And as you guys know, I keep my tanks heavily planted, so as you guys can see, this is all live plants in here, and my frogs thrive in these environments. Let's find them. I've had so much inspiration lately that I have a plan to completely tear the backgrounds out of all these enclosures, start from scratch, and give all of these animals new homes, something new, more enrichment for them, and actually just more visually appealing for everybody because they thrive in these enclosures. But I just think that we're gonna turn this into more of a showcase room, upgrade everything that's going on back here in the frog room. I've also been considering adding mourning geckos into these enclosures as well. Let me know what you guys think about that, or if you do it on your own. I also have these walls that can fit cube enclosures. If you guys know anything about mourning geckos, this is the perfect environment setup for them. If you guys can see, it's about 75 degrees in here, which is perfect for frogs and mourning geckos, crested geckos, things like that. But I'm gonna stay away from the crested geckos and things like that, just not my niche. But poison dart frogs, definitely what I love. I have different size enclosures coming. This room's gonna turn more into a display. On another note, I'm being overrun with tadpoles, so let me know if you guys want any, because I quite literally have enough tadpoles here to service anyone who wants to get into the poison dart frog hobby. And I also have some juveniles here that have been growing up. So honestly, I have quite a few poison dart frogs to go around. I slowed down production. I took away their nesting spot. I've been keeping them a little drier so they're not so enticed to breed. But these Tinctorius green Cipollini, these are all of their babies that I've been slow growing, raising up, keeping them kind of a little below room temperature so that they don't grow as fast, because I'm not really a seller of, you know, poison dart frogs. They breed. I'm not the type of person to euthanize them. You either have to let the eggs dry out when they're young so it's not inhumane, or you raise them and keep them and I wholesale them to a breeder locally. But let me know, guys, these I can ship locally, or I prefer to do local pickup, but I can ship if you guys get enough of them. I can ship if it makes sense for both of us. Like I said, guys, this is a thriving culture of flies. Look how many flies you should have in a thriving culture. I don't know if you guys can even see that movement, but that's a ton of flies, and that's exactly what you should have in a producing, thriving culture. So I tap all the flies down, and then, like you guys have seen in my previous videos, you just tap the flies into the cup. Frogs are all fed up now. The tadpoles gotta eat too. So if you guys wanna know how I raise and rear all of my tadpoles, this has been magic for me. This works for me. I also do moss, and then they can eat these Indian almond leaves that they actually break down, and the frogs eat that. They sometimes get algae wafers when they get a little bigger. When they're younger, I found that the algae wafers actually foul the water. So I don't do that because I don't want their water to go bad so quick. I have to do a water change every 2 days for these frogs, but I just take a small pinch and drop a couple pieces in, a couple more pieces for the bigger ones, because they'll actually eat it. The small ones will just let it kind of sit there and go bad. So just a couple pinches in. So my process is, once the frogs get back legs like this one, as you can see, they still have black legs, front arm nubs, and a tail. They go in this, standing this way. Once they get front arms, I actually turn the cup on its side this way so that the frog has an opportunity to jump out of the water. I'll put less water in here, and the frog will jump out and sit on the side of the cup whenever it's ready. That's how I know the frogs are ready to be out of the water and completely back on land again. So like I said, this is gonna get a full upgrade. A lot of these enclosures may have small water features. I know a lot have bigger frogs and they don't typically swim, but I am getting thumbnail dart frogs as well that will be more prone to use the water feature. They'll also lay eggs naturally in the flowing water, which will be pretty cool, is what I want to do for one of my bigger paludariums. kind of a communal with some small geckos. Also do a couple species of thumbnail dart frogs and dart frogs that aren't as arboreal. So it'll be more of a community tank, more of a show tank, but it'll have a moving water feature and it'll have fish in there and everything. But that's coming soon in another video, so make sure you guys stay tuned for that. I've been struggling to keep my frogs alive. Not so much struggling, I kind of got to hang on it now, but I did go a while without having food for my frogs. Not really a while, but you know, long for frogs. I probably went 6 days without having any flies for my frogs, so I was doing whatever I can to make sure that I could salvage what I can. Springtails, I was feeding them expensive isopods that I have. I was feeding them pinhead crickets from up here, my crickets that breed. I was feeding them pinhead crickets just to keep them up, because if you guys know frogs, they do decline quickly if you don't take care of them. But yeah guys, you guys know my frog collection. It is expanding, it's getting bigger. Planes are getting bigger. 2 enclosure builds coming soon. Let me know if I should do them in the same video or 2 separate videos, and you guys want to see 2 separate enclosure builds. The frog room's getting a full revamp. I heard there's some mice down there ready for some snakes and lizards to eat. Let's go downstairs. Like I said for you guys, I have a complete bucket here of quail, mice, rats, chicken feet, everything that my lizards and snakes are gonna love. Alright, so I got the long tongues. We're gonna do a POV feeding today because I'm a one-man band. So I'm recording with one arm, feeding with the other. No tripod, nothing. Today we're just winging it, fully vlog style for the animal feeding. We got our bucket here filled with mice. And let's see if we can get the white-lipped python to come out for some food. As you guys can see, the black dragon sees the food and he's ready to eat already, but let's get the white-lipped python out the way first. You guys can see I put the mouse in there. She's in her hide. I'm actually gonna remove the hide before I feed her, so that, see her shooting over there. She's not really fond of me, but she's still gotta eat. Let's see, grab her food back, try to lure over here. There goes the first strike. Come on, baby. There she is. She's got a grip on the tongs, but there she goes, taking down her mouse. And that's it for her. So she's got a grip on that there. We're gonna move on while we can. Look how excited he gets when this unlocks. He knows what time it is. Good afternoon, big boy. Or should I say evening? We'll do a complete POV on this feeding. He sees these mice. His favorite. Absolutely runs up, crushes his mice. Oh, he's flicking it around. Look how his throat expands so that he can fit the food down there. This is Varanus salvador, which is the Asian water monitor's second largest lizard on the planet. And he is excited to have his second mouse. He's actually coming up really close, looking for food. And this is not a time to play around with these animals. He is in a mode. Complete feeding mode, ready to eat. But an amazing species nonetheless, can get upwards of 6 feet. This boy is not joking around with me today. As you guys can see him pushing that food down his throat there. Looking at the camera. Let's try a quail. Just as excited for the quail as he is. But he takes it down much quicker than he takes those mice. This will take him a little longer here. Oh, off the enclosure. There he goes, down onto the floor with the chicken foot. See if we can lure him back in the cage with a mouse. Come on. Let's quickly turn from a frog video to a feeding video. Who cares? If you love animals, this is exciting, guys. My absolute favorite species on earth. The black dragon Asian water monitor. What a dream pet for most people. So this guy gets a varied diet of, fish. He gets live whole prey. Sometimes I give him ground turkey, but not so much. I'm really more on the whole prey. Birds, which is usually like quail or chicks. But most of the time it's quail, just because I figure that quail is a little more nutritious than just chicks. And just usually mice, guys, and then salmon a lot of the times whenever he gets that part of the week, but his favorite is absolutely mice. As you guys can tell, he gets super excited. But just look at this. Look at his throat and how he pushes that food down into his stomach. But that expanding neck just shows you how big of prey they're actually taking down in the wild. I don't know how many more he has in him, but we'll feed him until he stops. And he's not done yet. I think he's done, guys. You see, once he refuses that mouse, he's not so excited anymore. That's how you know when he's done. He may or may not take it. Now he's just gonna try to get out and explore. So this is when we close him up. And that's it, guys. That is Zilla, Black Dragon Asian Water Monitor. If you guys like seeing him, I have tons of videos on my channel already just about Zilla. So he's a character. He's the main character here on this channel. Most people love him the most. But if you came here for the frogs, you probably didn't come for Zilla. But make sure you stay tuned for all the rest of the stuff that I have going on. I'm gonna finish up here before it gets dark. But that's all we got today. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. Follow me for everything that I do. I'm going into the wild to see these animals that you're seeing on my channel. So if you want to see them in captivity, how to keep, how to breed, whatever I'm doing here, if you guys want to see what I'm doing, and also follow me out of the country, out of different states to different facilities for my adventures, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. See you guys next time. Peace.